We are glad to see you again on our channel, and today we have a review of a movie in which the girl Kelly unwittingly witnesses how her friend's life is taken. The girl filmed the killers on camera, but she is noticed. The girl is forced to hide from them on the slope of the mountain. Beautiful mountain terrain. Two girls, Kelly and Sophie, prepare to climb to the top of the mountain and collect everything in the cabin. Sophie shoots a friend on camera and comments on what is happening. Kelly holds a wedding ring in her hand and remembers being here with her husband last year. But now, she is alone. A car pulls up to the next cabin and 4 guys come out of it, who also came for the climb. One of them, Josh, notices the girls and smiles Sophie. After a short time, the guy knocks at the cabin to the girls and meets them. Josh gives the girls questionable compliments and invites them to their cabin. The friends look at each other and refuse. Zach, at this time, talking to the locals, learns that they could not reach the top because it's frozen and informs his friends. They discuss where Josh is and that the friend is not wasting time even though he is engaged. Josh comes up to the guys and makes fun of them. Then he takes Taylor into the clutch and says that the guy has become too businesslike, but Josh knows what he really is. Kelly and Sophie discuss an offer from the guys. Sophie tells her friend that she needs distraction. Kelly agrees, but briefly. Sophie starts tickling her friend. The girls laugh.
Come on. I thought you have the pretty one. Okay. 1 drink. Really?
In the evening, at the fire, girls communicate with the guys. Sophie is sarcastic, laughs, and asks how the guys met. The guys say they met at the climbing camp and they've been friends for a long time. Sophie teases Josh, noticing he has a big watch on his hand, which means a big car, a big organ. The guy says there's a ninja call button. He clicks on the watch, it beeps, but nothing else happens. Then the guys talk about what the girls are doing here and find out they're going up the hill. The guys are surprised and say that they will go on the path, it's safer. Sophie teases them that they chickened out. Kelly says that he will go to bed. Josh grabs the girl by the hand and asks her to stay. Kelly pronounces "let the hand" and leaves. Josh tells Sophie that she has a depressed friend.
Why don't you stay?
Let go of my arm.
Your friend's a real buzzkill.
Kelly in the cabin is watching a video with her husband from last year. The girl remembers how they met on the rock wall. Kelly starts crying and turns off the camera. Sophie at this time is still sitting with the guys and drinking. They are talking to Josh, and she sort of hurts him with words. However, a scene is shown in which a girl sits on Josh's laps and they kiss. Sophie goes away for a while. The boys tell Josh that it may not be worth doing so and remind him of his fiancée. Josh replies that he is not going to spend 40 years with one woman.
You think I'm gonna dip my dick in the same grease pot for the next 40 years?
He goes after the girl, telling his friends not to wait for him. Josh comes up to Sophie and grabs her, starts molesting her, and saying that she has a sharp tongue. He knocks the girl to the ground and starts pulling down his pants, but the guys show up and push him away. Sophie runs into the woods. The guys say they need to find the girl and explain to her that they just didn't understand each other. The guys are catching up with the girl. Josh punches Sophie in the face with a fist, and the girl falls off a cliff, having bitten one of the guys by the hand. Kelly, hearing noises outside, wakes up and goes out. She finds no one near the fire and goes into the forest. The boys go down to Sophie. One of the friends starts dialing the squad number, but Josh takes his phone, saying they won't believe them if they say it was an accident. Guys are starting to think what to do and quarrel. One of them is the prosecutor, and he says that at best it will be manslaughter because there is a girl's bite mark, their DNA under her fingernails, etc. Reynolds says that Josh is doing it again, hinting that something similar had already happened. Josh replies that they were not caught then and will not be caught now. Reynolds asks if they will leave her here and understands what his friends are driving at. He tries to resist and reason them, but Josh presses him and says that the friend is either with them or against them.
Listen to me. We are not going down for this. We're gonna stick together like we always do. Now you're either with us or you're against us.
Josh grabs a big rock and swings. Reynolds says the girl is still alive. Josh hits Sophie with a stone and gives Taylor a stone, who also makes a shot. Sophie is no longer breathing. Josh tells Reynolds that he has always been a coward and stains his hands with blood. The boys think about what to do next and decide to throw the body off a cliff, as if the girl had drunk and climbed there at night and then snapped. Kelly at that time is walking through the forest and decides to turn on the camera. The boys understand they need to remove their DNA from under the fingernails of the girl's body. Josh tells his friends the version that the girl was drunk, laughed at them, and said that the first 100 meters of the mountain will pass the fastest. They take the body. Kelly with the camera sees all this, films and screams, "No." The guys understand that she sees them and rush to catch up with the girl. Kelly manages to hide behind a rock. The girl covers her mouth with her hands to avoid being heard. The guys right above her discuss that she has a camera and she definitely needs to be caught. They split up and continue their search. Kelly comes out of hiding and runs into the cabin. The girl takes the backpack and runs to Antelope Mountain. The boys chase her. Kelly starts climbing the mountain without any equipment or insurance. Taylor starts climbing after the girl while the rest of them are at the bottom. Josh yells to a friend to get her. Taylor catches up with Kelly and grabs her backpack. From the backpack falls the camera and falls on the ledge in the mountain just below. Ropes with attachments also fall out. Kelly descends behind the camera. Taylor catches up again, and the girl kicks him in the head. From the surprise and force of the hit, Taylor falls down, breaking his leg. Josh shouts to the girl that she has nowhere to run.
You hear me? I'm coming for you!
The boys drag Taylor into the cabin and give him first aid with pills found at the girls' cabin and pouring them by whiskey. Guys tell Taylor to keep the fire going and leave him. Kelly makes a small pause, puts on climbing shoes, takes a climbing cam, and climbs up again. The guys with all the equipment are going back to the mountain. They think that if the girl does not fall, she will freeze up.
Just tap her equipment. If she doesn't fall, freeze to death before we even get up there.
Josh says they'll go after her first, and then they'll go around the side and wait for Kelly upstairs. Josh says he forgot his gloves in the cabin and commands them to wait for him. Reynolds and Zach speculate that everything that is happening is because of Josh. Zach says that everything will be fine if they do whatever he says. He stands up and goes after Josh because he is away for a long time. The guy comes to the cabin. Josh comes out, breathing hard, and says, "I told you to wait." He shows the gloves, and the guys go to the mountain.
I thought I told you to wait.
Kelly at this time climbs further. The girl recalls the words of her husband, that in mountaineering, you need to use the brain, not muscles. She looks at the map of the mountain and continues climbing. The guys climb behind the girl. Kelly stops and takes out the bottle, drinks. Then she drops the bottle down. Josh sees this and shows her his water, making fun of it. He also holds the girl's phone in his hand and says that she has subscribed to him. Kelly climbs further and sees a tent on a sheer rock. The girl gets to it. The guys have already circled around and are waiting for Kelly right above her. They drop the rope, ordering to tie the camera and climb up. But instead, Kelly ties a note with a curse to the rope. The boys get angry and decide to wait. Reynolds and Zach talk about how much bad they have already done with Josh. Kelly patches the wounds on her arms, then pulls the tent to her and puts it as much as possible on the mountain. The boys notice that there is no smoke in their cabin and think to call Taylor, but Josh forbids them to do so, citing that the phones will be checked. Night falls. Kelly in the tent remembers her husband. The guys show Josh a photo on her phone where she and her husband are. Friends understand that exactly a year ago it was here that her husband fell from the mountain, and therefore the girl rises again in memory of him. Kelly tries to sleep, but the guys pee on her tent, and Josh also congratulates on the anniversary, laughing.
Happy anniversary!
Then the guys throw a backpack on a rope into her tent, and Kelly almost breaks. Then Zach descends to her with a knife and attacks the girl. They both hang on a rope, and Zach screams to lift the rope. The girl manages to stab the guy in the leg. Kelly manages to get back on his ledge, away from the guys. The boys are angry at this time, but fall asleep. Zach wakes up the Reynolds and asks him to pull him out before he bleeds out. They discuss Josh, and Zach says that he has not been dating his fiancée for 6 months because she caught him cheating. The girl was driving to town for a wedding dress and saw Josh with a blonde outside the hotel. They had been meeting there for 2 years and registering as a couple. The girl kicked Josh out of the house. The guy also says that Josh has Taylor's phone, and his friend is unlikely to be alive because Josh killed him when he went to fetch gloves. The guys think they can use Josh's watch to signal, and they will be found. Reynolds crawls to the clock, but Josh hears everything and starts a fight. Josh says there is no girl who can be faithful. Josh asks, "Right, Zach?" and laughs that he doesn't know about the girl he's been meeting since college. He tells Zach that his wife cheated on him and that he spent time with her every Friday night when a friend thought she was going to Pilates. He explains that they go to a hotel near her house, and Zach knows nothing. Josh describes how he held her by the throat and how the girl liked it. He also says that the girl specifically told Zach that she hated Josh and told her not to let him in the house. Zach can't believe it and asks if Reynolds knew it too, but was silent. Zach tries to attack Josh, but the injured leg prevents him from doing so. The guys fight. Josh shouts furiously to Kelly that she has severely crippled his friend, and he realizes that girls have to go to great lengths to survive. But even this is too much. He says if she wants money, she should say it. He calls her names and says she will regret it. Zach stands up and goes to the toilet from the slope. Josh hits him on the head and he falls down. Reynolds later wakes up and asks where the friend is, to which Josh says he went for help. Josh also says that it is necessary to finish once they are alone. Reynolds offers to go down to the girl and take the camera and then take her life. Josh agrees. Reynolds on a rope descends to Kelly. He tells her to give the camera and everything will be fine. The girl says that Zach has not gone anywhere and will not bring any help. The girl hints that Reynolds will not get out alive. The guy says that if the girl does not give him the camera, Josh will come for her. Kelly gives the Reynolds camera and tells her to scream. She screams to simulate a fall, but stays on the ledge. Reynolds asks Josh to pick him up and says that everything is over. He has the camera, and he took the girl's life. Josh says he hasn't seen it, but takes his friend upstairs. The guys see that the camera has no memory card. Reynolds says that Taylor called and dials his number, but hears the sound of the phone at Josh. He understands everything. The guys start fighting. Josh breaks Reynolds' hands, ties him up and douses him with kerosene. He then sets fire to Reynolds and drops him on the rope down, leaving him hanging in front of the Kelly. The girl sees a burning body in front of her. Soon the rope burns out and the guy falls down. Kelly sees a knife that one of the guys drop it and tries to get it. She spots a snake crawling into a crevice. The girl remembers how her husband died. He made a proposal to her right on the slope and then fell off. Kelly understands that she cannot give up. Josh ties a rope and descends to the girl. He tells her to give the memory card, but the girl does not give up. Josh grabs her leg and offers an exchange, a card for the ring he took from the girl. Kelly says the card is in the bag in the crevice. The guy reaches out and is bitten by a snake. He gets angry and attacks Kelly. The guy starts to punch her in the face, then strangle her. The girl kicks him in the groin and cuts his rope.
Please help me.
Josh finds himself hanging on the ledge and asks Kelly to help him. Kelly leans over the guy, but instead of helping him, presses his watch, which signals. Then she steps on the guy's hands and he breaks down. The girl manages to rip off her ring from his neck. Dawn. Kelly climbs to the top of the mountain and looks into the distance. This is a British film, The Ledge, in the thriller genre, directed by Howard J. Ford.